Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of World Drum Club. I'm Kalani Das, your host and teacher, and I'm really pleased to be sharing the Reverie Harp with you in this video. I'll be talking about this instrument, what it is, how to tune it, and some of the ways you can approach playing it as a recreational musician or a therapeutic musician for bedside music making. But basically an overview. This is the classic Reverie Harp, and it's made by a company called Music Makers. And before I play this much more, I want to show you kind of what you get when you purchase a Reverie Harp. So you obviously get the harp, the instrument, and you can see it's beautifully handmade, made in the U.S., fine craftsmanship, fine materials, and it's beautiful. You can play it this way, holding it up. It even works if you flip it over, strangely enough. And I kind of find this position actually comfortable because of the taper. Both halves, there's low notes in the middle, and then it extends up a pentatonic scale, C-pentatonic, in both directions. It's not a mirror image side to side, but it's close. So it sounds similar. And I'm using my thumb, but you get some other ways to play it in the package. So let me show you what you get when you purchase a Reverie Harp. So you do get this bag. I have it down here. This is an auto harp bag, but it works fine for the Reverie Harp. In the pocket on the side, you get a tuning tool, and I'll show you how to use that. You also get on the back, you get a few documents. So let's look at those. So you would get a catalog of a lot of their different products. I'm not going to talk about each one, but basically they make all sorts of different instruments, including full-size harps. They make folk instruments. Let's see if I can find those real quick. So here are the different types of kind of Reverie Harps, and then they have ukuleles, they have mandolin-like instruments, they've got open-back banjos, all sorts of dulcimers, mountain dulcimers, hammered dulcimers, some stuff I can't even pronounce in here that looks really fun. And then, of course, a hurdy-gurdy. And this guy, look at this guy. He's the hurdy-gurdy player, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that is a burly hurdy-gurdy player. Just my opinion. Wonderful products, great company. Check them out. Music Makers. All right. The Reverie Harp, you get a folder, and we're going to look at this in a second. You get a tuning card, and this tuning card you would use like this, and I haven't cut it out, but it suggests that you cut this area out over here, and then you could slide this up under the string so it would be about there. I'm not going to do that right now, but I'll basically show you how this would work. You would line it up, right? Line it up with each string, and then it tells you the pitch of the string. So this string is supposed to be E5, and then D5, C5, A4, etc. down the scale. You take your tuning key, you place it on the tuning peg, and it fits on, it's just like a piano tuning peg, and then you would tune it up or down. I'm not going to tune it right now because I don't want to. I've already tuned it. I don't want to retune it. But basically you tune it by turning the peg, and then the string goes up or down, and you just end when it's in tune. And then you're done tuning, you can put that away. And if you have a tuner and basically, once you've tuned it up, and it should come fairly in tune. Once it's in tune, you don't really need the chart because you know that if you have a tuner, it's going to be whatever note is pretty close on your tuner. And then you can just dial it in. There are other tunings that you could use to put your Reverie Harp in a different modality or key, depending on what type of music you want to play. So they give you a couple different alternative tunings here. They call this one lullaby tuning. This one's called meditation tuning. And I'm just looking at this. So it looks like it's more of a minor. The meditation tuning is more of a minor key, minor sounding, maybe more Asian sounding. And then the lullaby tuning just has a few different notes than the standard C-pentatonic tuning. They give you some tips and advice about. Here's one area called using the Reverie Harp during pregnancy. Here's using the Reverie Harp in the hospital, I'm assuming for bedside music making or supportive music making. We've got some songs here, lyrics. It's really nice. I mean, I think it's great that they give you a lot of resources right out of the box or the bag. Amazing Grace, Danny Boy, some popular folk songs. And speaking of that, let's look at some of these song sheets. And you can see here, but I'm going to show you in a second, you can see here they give you instructions for using the song sheets. Let's skip ahead and use one of these. So here's a song sheet. It's got lines and then it's got this kind of map. It looks like it comes from a hospital in some way. But I'll show you how to use this real quick. In case you want to play melodies, so what you would do is you put in the song sheet under the strings, and you can actually use a hole punch and notch it over here so it immediately goes under. But basically what you want to do is line up the song sheet so it's right under the strings, right? So your view is string and then the line is right behind it. So it's literally like, now it's lined up. Now it's lined up to me. I don't know if it's lined up to the overhead camera. It may not be lined up to anyone else. So you just remember it's just your view and you're lining these things up. Then you follow the map on here. And I'll pull this out for a second. You see here, it gives you these different notes. That's what you're going to pluck. And in this case, since Amazing Grace is in a 3/4 rhythm, it's in a waltz rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All of the black dots are going to get 1 beat. The open dots are going to get 2 beats, basically. And then you're going to use your musicality in your ear to figure out exactly how you want to play it or how it goes. But most of these are popular songs, so you're pretty much going to know how it goes. You can use one finger or one hand or 2 hands, but let's look at how this would be played. So we're going to go 1, 2. So I used one hand. I ended up switching to the other hand. You can use 2 hands if you want, thumbs, index fingers, whatever you want. You're the boss. All right, but there's lots of song sheets that come in the package. You can make your own. Maybe people have created some and put them online where you can share them. Right now, I want to play this a little bit more for you to give you an idea of the sound. I will stop talking and just do some playing. This is a really nice instrument to get lost in. It's in C-pentatonic, so I've talked about this in the past. Just a reminder, C-pentatonic is the white keys on the piano minus, in this case, minus F and B. It has a very wind chimey open sound, so essentially you can play any of the notes and they all blend together like a wind chime. It will work with your A, Native American style flutes, the happy drum in C-pentatonic, kalimbas, tongue drums, other kinds of fixed tuning instruments. You can play it together. And then, of course, there's lots of songs that you could sing over it because it's in this C-pentatonic scale. So, for example, if you're a parent or you're a child of somebody who's bedridden or just going to bed, you could sing, "Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, Brother John?" Or, "Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream." Life does sound like a dream when you're playing one of these. Reverie Harp, Music Makers. Of course, all the information I will leave below if you want to check these out further. There's different models. This is the classic. A nice instrument. And if you're thinking, hey, Kalani, this is World Drum Club. This is not a drum. What's up? This is about percussion instruments, this channel. You guys know that if you're a fan, if you're a subscriber. A lot of percussion instruments actually are plucked. It's not just things that are hit and slapped and beat upon. We also scrape percussion instruments, whistles, which I've used in the past. So blown instruments, plucked instruments, scraped. We do a lot as percussionists. So, of course, you don't have to categorize yourself or the instruments you play. It's just a nice instrument. I thought you can use it in association with the other things you're doing if you're not particularly musically inclined in terms of music theory or playing chords and things. This is a wonderful instrument that you can use to get your toes wet, get in the water of harmony and, play along and play for other people. I think that's a wonderful way to be of service as a musician. And I'm, of course, a board-certified music therapist, so we play a lot of music with people and sometimes for people. But check it out. Leave your kind comments below. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber. And as always, join us over at patreon.com to support this channel, as many people do. I'm Kalani Das. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a future video.